I've been doing a bit of writing lately, and I have to say, it feels really good to return to something that has been such a part of me. Even as a child, I still have these chapter books where I wrote at like 9 or 10 years old. And to have loved writing for so long and then reach a point in my life, maybe my 30s, where I started to move away from it, and eventually it seemed like I turned my back on it, abandon this part of my life that was such a big part of my life, a tool in many ways, a practice and path out of difficult moments. And so to be back there writing feels so nourishing. It feels very nourishing. And what makes me think about this return to writing in this moment is because I've been thinking on forgiveness. And I wrote something recently that has a bit of forgiveness in it, but really in this moment, I'm dropping into the word itself, forgiveness. And often we take that word kind of in a light way. Oh, I forgive you. We don't think about dropping more deeply into the word, what it means to forgive, and not from this superficial surface or even religious, place, because forgiveness has many connotations depending on your background, your culture, how you're using it. And for me, I'm just thinking about forgiveness. And when I think of that word, I cannot help but think about my mother. It's as if she's the only person on the planet with whom I have sort of a relationship with forgiveness. That's deep. And that isn't to say that, there aren't apologies or feeling sorry for or forgive me for X, Y, and Z throughout life, but I mean just like an imprint. And I know that I'm not alone there. So many people have imprints from childhood, often with parents, right? Early caregivers. So for me, when I think about forgiveness, I think about my mother. I can't help but, even if I'm not trying to, she's woven in there some kind of way. And forgiveness, as it shows up in my mind and heart today, is connected to compassion. When I'm thinking on forgiveness and I'm connecting that to early, childhood or adolescent years, young adult years, I'm connecting it to compassion. Because sometimes forgiveness, it's not enough. It isn't the thing that hits the spot in the way the spot needs to be hit. Oh, I forgive you for me so I can let it go and move on. No, but I need an integration, a reconciliation, something that's really real inside of what it is I'm forgiving. How do I get there? How do I get to true forgiveness in the sense that I am no longer adversely affected by what has happened? I'm able to experience the grief, the pain, the sadness, because that's real, that may be lifelong, while not succumbing, no longer sort of triggered by, but can just hold the vulnerable aspect of. How do I get there? I can honestly say that for me, it's been compassion. And compassion can't be curated. You can't conjure that up. Compassion truly has to come from a heart space. And it didn't just come directly from my heart. it first went through layers of understanding, acknowledging, right? To know, wow, whatever my experience, it's not personal. It was not personal. But if I go back to whatever her experiences were, or for you, whomever that person is, right? If you go back to their experiences, it doesn't make our experience less valid or make it right. And at the same time, we can say there's a level of understanding how you would not have been equipped or had the tools to do better than you did because you didn't come from a place where there was better. You did better than what you experienced, and still your better inflicted wounds. And my compassion comes from the truth and reality that you wanted it better. And it was better than you had. And so if I can access a level of understanding, and if there's some science behind that, right, it makes sense. And I can honor my own experience, my own pain, my own disappointments, whatever I have within. I can honor that and give myself what went missing from the place of now, because the past cannot be undone. We can only live through and arrive at now. And in giving myself what I didn't receive, I can say, wow, I actually have more information than my mother had, or even still has. And she had more information than her mother had. There's improving upon. There is an improving upon with each generation, right? That allows me to gain access to compassion. That allows me to reconcile my feelings of it having been personal with the truth that it was not. And being with that grief and that sadness in any and every moment that it comes up, being with it, because there's no destination to the grief. It is an ongoing journey, and knowing that. And from that place, being able to say, I forgive you, because if I had a child, the reality of my child's life is that it would be better than mine, and still something missing. And I guess when we really think about it, that's the way. And as we continue to heal through time, through generations, we never arrive at perfection, but we get really close to something truly magical. Like, wow, all the healing. If every generation is better, wow, look at all of the healing, the capacity to be just amazingly spectacular. And I don't mean from a material place, this accumulation of all these things. No. I'm talking about the inner outward. I'm talking about joy and self-knowing and compassion and authenticity and the heart, love, just gratitude. The things that mean the most when we are at the end of our lives. We don't think about how many things we've accumulated, right? We think about the love and the connections in our lives. We think about whether or not anyone shows up to the hour of our dying, who we show up for. So yes, I'm thinking about forgiveness, and I'm grateful that compassion has opened the door, allowing me to access forgiveness. And it's beautiful to be in that place It is also a practice to stay there. May it be cultivated always and in all ways. Yeah. So I invite you, listener, to think on forgiveness, how it shows up in your life, what it means to you, for you, how you dance with it or deny it, your relationship to it. Think on forgiveness for yourself and other. And thank you for your time and presence and your ear. I really do appreciate you and love that you come around listening to me. May you return again and again. Yeah, I'd love that.